It is a theatrical parable that questions the possibility of moral goodness amidst the poverty, inequality and exploitation inherent under capitalism. That's Magnet Theatre's full-time training and job creation program graduate production titled The Good Soul of Szechuan. To tell us more about the production, which is currently on and is running until the 24th of June, we're joined by co-founder of the Magnet Theatre, Jennie Reznek. Jennie, good morning. A warm welcome to Morning Live. Give us background into the Magnet Theatre's full-time training and job creation program and what it entails.
Good morning. It's so wonderful to be on this morning with you. The full-time training program was created in response to the difficulties that young people were having from township schools to get into tertiary education and study drama, theatre and performance full-time, and also the difficulty of getting into the profession itself. So we were finding that even though there was a certain amount of transformation happening, the theatres and the leaders in the theatre industry were still predominantly white, and we really felt that it was important to create a bridging program for young people so that they could learn the ethics of professional theatre, that they could bridge into the university, and that they could also learn the skills to create their own possibly income generating projects. So this is the 6th cohort that we are graduating now, and we're incredibly proud of them. So we will now have had 100 graduates in the world. And from our tracking, we can see that 93% of those graduates are either in the university or working professionally or creating their own income generating projects. So now, as a result of the six cohorts, we can see that the program does what it intends to do, and we've managed to get 37 first-generation university attendees and their family into the university, and 23 of those have graduated, and 7 of those with postgraduate degrees, and that's I think has a huge impact on both people's families and as role models for young people in supposedly remote spaces, to understand that they can also find their way to the center of the industry.
Yeah. So now this current crop has a production on at the moment. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this is their graduating production, and it is the most brilliant play. Every time that I watch it, I think this is the play for the moment. It really speaks about how difficult it is to be a good person when you are struggling to put food on the table. And Brecht is one of the most brilliant playwrights, because even though the themes are very interesting and challenging and make you think a lot about what it means to be a human being in very difficult circumstances, it's also incredibly entertaining. So the characters, the storyline is completely absorbing. We've had the most wonderful responses from people. One of our other artistic directors, Mandla Mbotwe, said it could easily be titled The Good Soul of Szechuan as opposed to The Good Soul of Szechuan. It's sort of set in China, but in actual fact, it has so much relevance to what it means, or what how people experience living in South Africa in the moment.
And how interesting is it that the young crew interpreted the way they did? What are some of the interesting ways in which they read the play?
I think we had a conversation with them just before the opening. In fact, asked them that question: What do you feel about the work? And they were talking about the difficulties of being taken advantage of when some people in the communities have something, or they have a job, and how difficult it is for those people not to be inundated with requests for help and support and money, and how difficult it is when you have a little bit in the township to actually keep your head above water, because everybody kind of jumps on board to try and get a little for themselves, because everybody is struggling and everybody, the unemployment rates are so high. So that was one of the things that they identified with. And I think that the other thing that they identified with, one of the themes in the piece is love and how love can disarm you so that you can make kind of silly choices as a result of loving someone, that it's not always easy to love and open up your heart, and then the possibilities of being taken advantage of. So that was one of the other things that the young people identified with. But I think, broadly, the play is also very anti-capitalist. So it really it is quite profoundly critical of capitalism. And I think a lot of the young people also feel that they're not sure how to find their way in the way that the world is constructed at the moment, particularly coming from the communities that they do come from.
And why did you decide on this particular play as the play that is performed by your graduates?
It was a challenge. I mean, most of how the program works is that we really go from creating work from their own experience first, so that they feel empowered by their own voices and their own stories. And then gradually, as the training progresses, we start to stretch them. We start to drop more things into the training program that are foreign and that can really grow them as performers. So Mark Fleischman and Kondiswa James, the two directors, wanted to really do a piece that was in English, which is their second language, and to really challenge them, because even though the industry is changing, a lot of work still happens for English-speaking actors, or actors who can work very strongly and very well in English. So we really wanted to throw them this challenge and to prove to them and prove to the theatre community that these young people can work both in isiXhosa, which is predominantly their mother tongue, some in Afrikaans, but also they are equally proficient in English. And also because the themes of the play were so close to what is happening in South Africa now. One of the lines is poverty rules in this province, and another one of the actors says, "Boy, are we tired of waiting for this new age to be born." So there's so many sentences that just really resonate for people. And I think the other issue is that also speaks to a lot of young people, and why we wanted to do it, is it really looks at the role of religion. There are three very comical gods that basically come down on earth to look for a good person. And they really struggle to find someone, because people are living in such terrible conditions, and life is so hard that it's very, very difficult for people to be good. But they do find one person. But it's quite critical. The play it makes you ask questions about religion and about one's relationship to the gods, and I think that was also another reason why we wanted to do the show and why it speaks to young people today.
All right, Jennie Reznek, thank you so much for talking to us, co-founder of Magna Theatre in Cape Town, speaking to us about the Magna Theatre's full-time training and job creation program, which will see their graduates stage a production titled The Good Soul of Szechuan by Bertward Bracht. All right, that conversation with the co-founder of the Magna Theatre.